All right, what's going on, Sooner Nation? If you guys are like me, you're still celebrating the Alabama win because, yeah, you got bowl eligible. You knocked them out of the playoffs. You watched the playoff rankings come out last night, and you just feel accomplished, right? We got to feel something right this season because it's just not been a good year for us. But the experts and the insiders around the recruiting industry, they've been favoring Oklahoma over the past couple of days to potentially flip a 4-star prospect out of the state of Texas. And we got to talk about it today. We got to talk about why I think this could be big for Oklahoma. So before we do that, as always, I want to hear from y'all. Join the discussion. Jump down in the comments below. Give me your thoughts and let me know what you guys are having for Thanksgiving, right? Are you having a traditional turkey setup, or are you making a prime rib? Are you making a brisket? I don't know who doesn't do turkey and ham for Thanksgiving, but apparently there are people that do different things. So let me know what you guys are doing. Would like to hear it down below. All right. So the insiders and experts across the country when it comes to recruiting, if you guys remember, we actually talked about this like a month ago. They're favoring Oklahoma right now to potentially flip the 4-star linebacker prospect out of the state of Texas from Houston in Kaleb Burns. You heard me right. So you saw Josh McCuistion today on 3 Sooner Scoop. He increased his confidence level on the flip prediction from a 60 to a 65. And then you saw Steve Wiltfong jump in the action, right? Submitting a Fong bomb for this flip to happen. Now, the question is, right, well, you assume you already had Marcus James. Why do you need another linebacker? Why is it important? And I think a lot of it's because in 2024, if you're Oklahoma, you took a smaller linebacker class. So you look at, although you're losing Danny this year, I think you potentially have 1 or 2 portal exits in that room as well this offseason. Then you look at next season, a guy like Kobe McKenzie, a Kip Lewis, those guys become draft eligible and they could be leaving next year. So you want to kind of go ahead and start reloading up on some talent, getting some younger guys in that room, especially understanding that Oklahoma's got to decrease their roster size this year. So not only are you losing your seniors, you're replacing them with guys in this recruiting class, but you are also going to want to take guys in the transfer portal. So you're going to have to process guys out of the program. If you guys remember, we've used that word a lot over the past couple of years, but you're going to have to process kids out of the program, or what we would call in the NFL terms, cut them, to make room for guys that you're wanting to currently bring in. But Kaleb Burns is a 6'1", 220-pound linebacker. He's got a total of 26 total offers. You look at the offer sheet and you see Tennessee, you see Arkansas, you see Florida, you see Oregon, right? You see some of those bigger offers where you see, decent linebackers come out of. And that tells you, okay, that tells you a little bit more about the kid. And we're going to get into his stats here in a second, but he recently was on an official visit for Oklahoma against that Alabama game. So you look at that and say, all right, well, there couldn't have been a better week for Kaleb Burns to want to be on campus with Oklahoma than a week where you knock off a top 10 team and you have a field storm. Now, I want to show you guys a little bit of his film here before we dive into his stats, because one of the things that I notice when I watch Kaleb Burns is he's a versatile athlete. He's a guy that can play at all 3 levels of the linebacker position for you. He's a guy that Brent Venables could 100% use at Cheetah if he wants. He's going to play Mike. He's going to play the Will. And so you look at a Kaleb Burns and you say, okay, I think this could work here. So then I look at it and I go, okay, well, what does he bring in terms of intangibles? What does he bring in terms of the statistics for Oklahoma? What has he done? And 40-yard dash, 4.56. He benches 305. He's benched 185 pounds 28 times. Ran a 100-meter dash of 11:18. Squatted 400 pounds. So Kaleb Burns obviously shows you the physical traits. Look at what he's done on the field. In his career, 120 solo tackles, 161 total tackles, 36.5 tackles for loss, 10 QB hurries, 13 sacks. This season alone, 73 total tackles, 53 solos, tackles for loss, 7 QB hurries, and 7 sacks. So Kaleb Burns, not only a guy who just has the combine numbers, not a guy that just has the physical traits, also a guy that puts it together on the field. And so you look at what he could bring Oklahoma. Obviously, Brent Venables, one of the masters at developing linebackers. This could be exciting. But I also want to look at some other targets for Oklahoma in this class. And I think the first one that I think a lot of people are turning to is in the wake of Kevin Sperry decommitting from Oklahoma, you look at a guy like Kevin Sperry and you say, okay, who do we replace him with? Well, a lot of people are looking at Jamarian Ficklin. I hope I said that right. He's a guy that's currently committed to Texas State and took a visit out to Utah over the past weekend, an official visit. And you kind of heard Josh over at Sooner Scoop talk about it and talk about how, hey, like Oklahoma told him that they're moving off of him, but then it sounded like Oklahoma was trying to get him back on campus after they found out that Kevin Sperry was flipping his commitment, which doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me because let's be honest, like I'm not a true insider in this game, and I knew that a Kevin Sperry decommitment was potentially on the horizon for Oklahoma. Like it wasn't anything that I think was a best kept secret. So I'm not sure why the staff was potentially taken back by that. But Ficklin is 6'1", 185 pounds, right here out of Muskogee, Oklahoma. One of the guys in the Discord said it best the other day, which is, hey, like you look at Jamarian Ficklin, he plays in the state of Texas. He's a top 300 dude. So obviously for an Oklahoma fan, like that's a guy that you want to potentially be out there to replace Kevin Sperry. The only thing is, he's been in Oklahoma's back pocket for a while. He's been on campus like, I want to say it's been like 10 or 11 times. Like he's been on campus for a while. But Oklahoma just hasn't given him that offer. So we got to wait. We got to see if an offer is going to come down for Ficklin. Then we got to see if he gets on campus. But this could be one of those signing day flips that we watch, along with a guy like Kaleb Burns, who said that he will be announcing his official college decision on National Signing Day. So looking at the recruiting scene from Oklahoma, I thought it would be a little boring going into the end of the year. Listen, we got Oklahoma trying to go out there and flip targets. So join the discussion below. Jump in the comments. Give me your thoughts. Can Oklahoma flip Kaleb Burns or Jamarian Ficklin? And also, tell me what you guys are having for Thanksgiving. Drop your favorite Thanksgiving dish in the comments below.